Welcome back to another episode of the Tit for Tat podcast. This is episode 28. Today I'm joined by my boy Jordan, back for another video, and then Max. Zay and I think Jay, they got some stuff to do. I think Zay recorded a YouTube video today, so he can't join us, but we're gonna get this going. In today's episode, we're gonna talk about Carmelo's retirement, the Lakers getting swept, unfortunately. Um, Game 5 predictions for the Celtics and Heat, and some NBA draft trivia ahead of the NBA draft. First, I want to start the show off by asking how you guys been. It's been like 5 or 6 days since we recorded a video.
I'm doing good. It's been a while since Jordan's been on the podcast. Congratulations, Jordan's graduated. Let's give a round of applause. Give a round of applause, everybody.
Congratulations. I forgot about that.
Thank you. Yeah, bro. It's a huge chapter in my life right now. Right now, I'm also getting prepping to get ready to go down and work for USA Today. So yeah, the prep actually just started today. So we on our meetings and calls. So yeah, just trying to. I'm just like I said, ready to actually get to work in the field. So yeah, I love coming on here though.
Yeah, no, that's big. Working for USA Today, you always gotta start somewhere, and then so I know I started writing for my school and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to get where you at, to be honest. So
that's where I started too. That's why I keep telling you, like you can really make some shit shake with with what you got going on. So both of you guys, all of you, really.
All right, yeah, we're gonna get into Melo retirement. Now he retired, I think like a few days ago. Obviously a great career. I think honestly, like in the following days, I've been watching like some NBA discourse around him, and I'm not really too mad at it. It's like you look back at Melo's career, it's really like shocking to see like how little he did to me. How little he accomplished is really telling to me. Like whether it be because he didn't have a better team, he wanted more money and could have went to better opportunities. But it's like looking back on Melo career, I feel like there can be a lot of players that you would just take over him. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of players like we look back at the history of basketball, and like, damn, Melo's better than him. Like even some players today, it's like it's crazy. So I mean, obviously one of the greatest scorers of all time, all time great. I wouldn't say he was one of my favorite players growing up. I mean, well, I'm not really a Knicks fan, and it's like he just did one thing. So, what was your initial reaction to his retirement?
I think some people were being like disrespectful. Like I thought he retired last year because he hasn't been playing, and it's like, nah. I mean, I think like I thought he was gonna sign for a team midway through the year. Like I thought he was trying to get picked up. Like I guess try and get one last ring or chance at a ring. Obviously like very iconic player of our era, right? Like I think growing up watching Knicks games and like watching the game winner against the Bulls. Latif, you can't laugh about that. Carmelo is one of the names you think of when you think of basketball of our era. I'm sorry. Their team weren't good, but Carmelo has some like the most some like the most.
I don't want to come off like a Melo hater, so I'm not gonna.
Whatever. But yeah, no, I mean it was like you kind of thought it was coming to an end eventually. The past couple of years, he was a decent role player on Portland, but like his other stints weren't great. So I guess it was kind of like a coming to an end. But yeah, I mean I think LeBron's the last from that 2003 class. So with D Wade out, with him out, and with LeBron coming out, whatever, in a little bit, I think it's gonna be sad to see everyone gone.
Yeah, same. I agree. It's been a lot of disrespect thrown on his name because now it's like all the type of conversations I'm seeing, like people talking about should he get his jersey number retired? So that number would mean that discourse with Jokic. I feel like Denver shouldn't have gave Jokic Melo's number in the first place. But
that's true.
When you talk about the Knicks, like I definitely think he's done enough to warrant the jersey retirement. He's was 7-time All-Star with them, was second team All NBA at his peak, made the playoffs, came to the Knicks when nobody wanted to even, had no intentions of going to New York after a decade drought out of the playoffs. Yeah, I definitely think he warrants, jersey retirement. But in general, I mean, let's be honest, this is I'm not gonna say one of the greatest players, but obviously one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen, already top 10 all time, number 9 in scoring. And yeah, I was, I'm a part of a bit of the a collective that thinks his career is a tad bit overrated, but for the most part, I think it's great to see legends finally get their respect. They're retiring. Everybody's talking about them for all the greater good that they did, and like you said, down the stretch of his career, like he has some stints where he provided valuable minutes and was still like not an outstanding scorer, but could give you buckets when need be. We saw that, like you said, with Portland. Not in OKC so much, but mostly Portland and with the Lakers last year a little bit in certain stretches. So Yeah, it's great to see a legend finally get his flowers and officially announce his retirement. So yeah, big Melo fan. I sent Teef, I don't know what you saw earlier, but it wasn't today. I think it was yesterday. But I was a part of the collective of people trying to get him to come to the Bulls back in 2014 with D Rose, Joakim Noah. It was Taj Gibson, Jimmy Butler was on that team too. Like I really felt they could have did some damage. So I'm gonna always have love for Melo just off the strength that he could have came here and we could have did something special with the Bulls, but it didn't end up happening. So, but all love to Melo always.
Yeah, he just cared. I feel like he cared more about the money than winning. Because if he wanted to, all he had to do
afterward. Huh? He came out and said it afterward. Like I remember he was on First Take and he was talking to Stephen A. directly. This is around a time where he was getting not blackballed, but blackballed in a sense from the league. Like nobody was picking him up. And I remember him going on there and he was like, "Yeah, well, if I decided to actually try to go win. Like I could." He said specifically, like I could have went to Chicago. I could have ring chased, but instead I wanted the money. I was focused on getting generational wealth and getting a big contract that I hadn't received before. So yeah, and that was around the time, obviously, like those max contracts were going out when the CBA had just did the TV deal, and a lot of money was just being generated into NBA contracts. So he wanted to be a part of that, and you can't really blame. I'm looking at it now, like I don't really blame anybody for going to get their money. So for Melo, looking back, obviously would love to see him win a ring or compete for a ring at the highest level when he was one of the 10 best players in the league, but. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not trying to I don't want to bash for nothing for not taking the pay cut like that. Like obviously you got to care your family. Obviously that matters and stuff like contract negotiations and like stuff you want to do with your career. But I'm not also just not going to ignore like he could probably had a better career if he would have joined the Bulls, joined the Heat or something like that. So it all depends on where your what you want for your career. And I think he probably wanted to make sure his family was straight and all that, which is commendable, respectable. It's always about making the most for your family. But certain players, mindsets are just different. I saw Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, money is way different than it is now. I saw Patrick Mahomes a quote earlier said he don't care about the money because he's the best quarterback in the league and he's probably the ninth highest paid quarterback. He said that he don't care about being the highest paid quarterback anymore. He got generational wealth and he's straight forever. So he just wants to win championships, rack up accolades, build his legacy. And so more players had the mindset like that, then more players will have better careers. In my eyes.
I mean, to be fair, it is easy to say that when you on a 10-year, $500 million contract.
I said the contract is different. I'm just saying, the contract is different.
You remember to say that, but
he could live a lifetime off his endorsements too. Like there's a difference.
He's a billionaire. We're gonna look up in 15 years. He's gonna be a billionaire.
Yeah, so I wanted to honor Melo's retirement. I want to do a start bench cut. The start bench cut is going to be Paul George, Tracy McGrady, and Melo. So one of y'all can start off with who y'all got for that start bench cut. I know I feel like this is one of the closest ones. I was thinking about some for a while, trying to get people in the same skill level, that'd be a good start bench cut. That'd be close to people, controversial, one that people can argue about.
Jay Davis, you can go first.
I'm gonna start. Are we talking straight prime, like them at their best?
Yeah, because when you talk about falling off, PG has not fallen off yet for career wise. Like Melo and T-Mac have fallen off significantly. PG is not
we can do career, or you can just do player. That's always
in their prime. In their prime.
If we're doing prime for prime.
Prime.
Okay. I'm starting Tracy McGrady. I'm benching Melo and cutting Paul George. Tracy McGrady in his prime, what was it? He's putting up 33 a game when that wasn't normal. He was putting up 33. I believe I think it was when he was with Orlando. Yeah, he's putting up 33 a game, even though now I understand a lot of the arguments against Tracy McGrady is him never ever outside of him when he was on the Spurs, when he wasn't playing, him never getting past the first round. I understand that. But if we're just talking about player for player, I think Tracy McGrady in his prime was better than all of them. Paul George, if we're talking like I said, so what would you guys say peak Paul George is? Are we talking about 2019 or are we talking about 2014, 2013?
Probably 2019 when he was top 3 MVP candidate, doing it on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, never mind. I'm sorry. Low key cut Melo. Even though this segment is supposed to be, praising Melo. I gotta cut Melo.
Wait, all right, so give me like reset for me. Reset it for me. Like give me your new list. Give me your new list.
Start. So I'm starting Tracy McGrady. I'm benching Paul George, and I'm cutting Carmelo Anthony.
Okay. Do you want to go next, Max, or
It don't matter. It don't matter. I feel like
so
we've got some similar stuff. So it's disrespectful to say we're gonna do this to honor Melo. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So no, it's not gonna be like that for me though, because mine gonna be a little bit different than JD. When factoring in career, for me, it can't be start Tracy McGrady because he never made out the first round. That's really big for me. He had no playoff success at all, so he can't be the start for me at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start Paul George. I'm going to bench Melo, and I'm going to cut Tracy McGrady. His prime was way too short, and so for me, his prime being too short, him not being out of the first round is why he got to get cut. For Paul George, I was the best player on the list on both sides of the ball. He's a good defender. He's a good shooter. He's a good playmaker. He's a better all-around player. Arguably than both of them, but I mean, I can see you say Tracy McGrady is better. And Carmelo, obviously one of the greatest scorers ever, 10-time All-Star. I think he led his team to Western Conference Finals on the Nuggets, and I gotta put some respect to that as a young player. He won, but I think he's only made it past the first round. I think he only won 2 of the playoff series after that, so his playoff career wasn't that good. I think Paul George has probably had the best playoff career out of both of these players, and that's what I'm factoring in right now. Tracy McGrady's prime was just too short, whether it's due to injuries and also, bro, like he just didn't make out the first round. I'm not rewarding that, so that's why he got to go for me.
Yeah, I don't really. If like I said, if we're just talking player for player, I think Tracy McGrady is the best player of the 3. But
his prime was real short, bro.
Huh?
His prime was short.
What you saying for his prime from 2000 to 2001 to 07-08? He was averaging at least 20 points a game.
That's like 6 years, bro. I mean, that's not as
that's a short prime, relatively.
Yeah.
But I mean, if compared to people we're talking about, yeah, it's a short prime.
All right.
Yeah, I think Melo and Paul George prime a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, I'm kind of
not to mention Paul George took his team to ECF back-to-back years, facing LeBron James, took him to 7, and he took to the Clippers by himself without Kawhi Leonard to ECF to the Western Conference Finals in 2021. So we got to put some respect on Paul George. Also, what was he? Third MVP, top 3 in MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, he underachieved with Westbrook, but who doesn't underachieve with Westbrook? So yeah, that's me.
I'm torn, but I think I don't know. I like Melo, but I think I got to be honest. I'm starting Paul George. I'm benching T-Mac, and I'm cutting Melo. I'm thinking just straight primes. PG is by far and away better on defense than the other two. And I think his offensive scoring, he has some capabilities that the other two have. I don't think he's as good of a scorer, but I don't think it's a lot closer than it is on the defensive side of the ball. So PG is a lot more of a plug-and-play guy on any team. He can fit with a lot more systems. I think if you're building a team, you'd probably want to pick Paul George just because he can fit on both sides of the ball. That 2018-19 season, being a Thunder fan, watching that was insane. I remember the game against Philly where he hit the and one to put us up. That kind of stuff's crazy. Being top 3 in defensive and MVP voting is crazy. Yeah, so I have him 1 just because he's amazing on both sides of the ball. I think looking back, he'll be one of the more underappreciated people of our era. Paul George, I think, is 1. T-Mac, scoring wise, I think when you look at the highlights of T-Mac, obviously you got the 13 and 30 seconds or 40 seconds. He has some iconic moments. I don't know if I'd say he's more influential than Melo. I think a lot of people look up to T-Mac more than they look up to Melo. Obviously because T-Mac's played longer. You see that? What was it? The Athletic. Someone said T-Mac's the best player of all time. Did you guys see that? Someone. It was for the Athletic when they were doing all the different players. Someone actually put T-Mac as the best of all time.
Yeah, but, 1 second. I was thinking about this, Jordan. The stuff, a lot of the stuff the Athletic been putting out is insane. So, because I know you want to work for the Athletics, so that's what's been coming to my head. They've been. Hopefully, you get over there and tighten some stuff up.
Every place that you can think of drops lists that are insane.
But the Athletic, I feel is far and away what are we doing here?
ESPN has dropped some really bad lists.
Not ESPN is probably worse than them, but they've been tripping lately.
ESPN
top 100 list was really bad lists.
I think CBS. CBS Sports dropped some decent lists, but all together, a lot of places drop a lot of crazy lists.
Who made the top 75? Who made the NBA top 75?
I think that was like a combination of players, journalists.
There's journalists, coaches, and like executives. I think.
Because
Yeah.
out of our 3 players we got today, Melo's I think 63. T-Mac and PG are
Even
not
in
on the
order?
list. Melo's 63 out of 75. T-Mac and PG are not on the list.
They have the list in order.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, top 75. I think they have the top 75 in order.
Is it based on? Because I remember at the All-Star game they called it out, and like LeBron, Kareem, and MJ were like the last ones that they listed for each position. Like I remember they went guard, forward, big man, and those obviously. So that's why I wonder, like, was it in order? Because they kind of insinuated that they do have an order, but I never knew that it was in the exact order.
Okay, so hold on. The people who made just making sure. Welcome to the NBA 75. This is the Athletic, so I don't know if this is the actual one, but it keeps saying Mel's at 63. And I know T-Mac was not part of the list because that was like a big deal when T-Mac got left out. Mm-hmm. There was like some guys who like, yeah, T-Mac got left out, Dwight Howard got left out. But yeah, I think PG should have got his flowers, especially when AD was like 50 or something. AD was high, and he had
80's like better than him now.
But what he's got one. I'm sorry, like whatever. He's looking like all-time careers. Like I don't know. I think 80 was a little high, but
the ring does that for you. But well, I just wanted to read this tweet I saw on Twitter. It was a question. Would it be a disappointment if Tatum ended up with a Carmelo Anthony type career? And then this dude that I follow named Pranav, he's like a Chiefs fan. He said it's impossible for Tatum to end up with a Carmelo Anthony type career, considering he's been significantly better than Melo has ever been for a couple years now. It's 25, and for those that care about serious accolades, it's already more individually accomplished. Now, when I was looking back at like Carmelo Anthony's career, it's not. I don't think it's a hot take to say that Tatum's better than him. Like as far as even as a player, and his career is already better than him. I don't know. That's crazy for me.
I don't know because are we looking at Tatum as this big defensive guy?
Yes. What are we talking about?
I think Melo's a better scorer than Tatum.
Look, Melo was never All NBA first team ever in his career. Tatum has already been that twice, most recently. Every year but one, Tatum has been in the Eastern Conference Finals, and Melo only did it once.
That's the biggest thing I think is career accolades like Tatum wipes. Like
yeah,
Tatum,
that's more so like that's more so because of career though. But even because of teams, but more.
Yeah, but, Melo had solid teams. Like you know what I'm saying? Like Melo had
Denver.
I get Denver. The West. Like the West was crazy, right? You had San Antonio and you had LA out west, but like Tatum did have to mess around with. He met LeBron. He didn't have to go through LeBron all the time to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. But yeah, like he's been in 4, I think we said, and he's been in 1 Finals appearance. So like as far as career accolades,
5. He's been in every year but 2 years. So this is 6 years. He's been in 4. He was in it 2018 his rookie year, 2020 in a bubble, 21 last year and this year. That's 4.
Yeah. So 21 was Atlanta and Milwaukee.
It's just crazy that I think like some certain players today are arguably going to be looked at better than Melo, and you can already make the case that they're better than Melo as far as like being an overall player and accolades as well. So when you really look back at his career, I agree with JD. Like his career is very, very overrated. It's more of like a nostalgic thing. Our members he gave us, like like the Bulls one. We remember like Melo was part of our childhood, watching the NBA for most of the generation that's on Twitter right now, and most of the generation that's big in sports. Remember like Melo was part of that generation. So shout out to Melo though, great career, great player. He's a great father. I think he gave the reins over to Cayenne, who's in high school right now. So looking to see what he can do, and I want to see what Melo do with his career. Maybe like he don't give me like
he wouldn't coach.
Yeah, not coach. I was talking like a broadcaster, but probably not. Like I probably think he probably do like some guest appearances on some podcasts, and we probably hear some crazy stories about when he was in the league and stuff like that. So
I gotta mute myself real quick.
All right. I feel like those New York teams were crazy.
Crazy, terrible, crazy bad.
I'm saying like behind the scenes, like there were so many like good, like fun people on that team. I feel like those teams must have been crazy. But yeah, no, I don't know. When you talk like I think when you think of like who could be a good broadcaster when they retire, like I think it's an interesting topic because I don't know a lot of guys who I'd be like, he could be a broadcaster. You know what I mean? Like
Draymond Green will be.
I think
CJ McCollum will be.
Huh?
CJ McCollum will be. Draymond Green will be. There's a lot of people I think that's very, very intelligent that know the game of basketball.
Yeah, like who you think Dame could be?
Dame won't be. Nah, I don't think he will be.
I don't
I don't know too many names. I think probably like Mikal Bridges, something like that. Like I feel he goes on podcast a lot.
It's too early.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's certain players that I can see that like especially it don't be like the
Chris Paul. I could look see Chris Paul being on TV.
Yeah, I don't think he will be.
I could see him like he does so much on like commercial stuff. I could see him being on TV and stuff. But I think it's interesting. But yeah, I don't think Melo would be. D Wade.
Nah,
He's already.
I feel like if he would have did it, he would already done it. He's been retired for like what?
He owns the Jazz. He can't do much.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna do it. You know, we see it got like mid tier players. Like a lot of all time greats don't do it. It's only a handful that do. And so
when you think about it, like Shaq is probably the best commentator. You know what I mean? The NFL is different because Tom Brady's like doing it. And I don't think that's gonna be good. But like I don't think LeBron should do it. I don't think Michael should do it. Like Tim Duncan won't do it.
I don't know. I heard that Tom Brady's literally not about to do it though. That he's considering like reneging on that deal he had with Fox or whatever, or whoever he had with.
I think he's bad. No, you good. All right, let's hop in next.
All right, Lakers getting swept. This happened a couple days ago. We haven't really reacted to it. The last time we reacted was they was down 3-0. I want to get into like what's next for them this offseason. A lot of talks about like Kyrie and Trae Young and a whole bunch of other reports that have no really basis. Is LeBron James retiring? And then we can talk about the Nuggets and their season and Jokic and stuff like that. So first, I want to start off with what's next for them after this crazy historic turnaround of a season. Went always to the Western Conference Finals. I started 2-10, 13 seed like 3 months ago, and we made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. So I'm very happy about that. But like, what's next for them? What do you think we should do in the offseason?
Jordan, you're the Lakers fan.
I think the main thing, obviously, is making sure LeBron is coming back because whatever we do in the offseason is based on if he comes back, which I do think he will. I don't agree fully with people saying like he's trying to use the retirement thing to like, wash over the fact he just got swept. I definitely understand why people think that. And, I personally don't think he did that for that reason. But, because the reporters asked the question, so it's not like he just came out and said it. But, like I said, that being the first thing. Second priority, obviously, is re-signing Austin Reeves and Rui. Now, I don't know if Austin Reeves, how big of a offer sheet he's going to get. And, that also plays a huge part in what happens next in the offseason and how much cap space we'll have because, there's a big difference between, him getting a $60 million contract and him getting an $80 million contract. So it's like, and if we offer him straight up like 60 mil and somebody comes across and gives him 80, we're going to have to match it because he was arguably easily the third best player, most consistent player on the Lakers outside of LeBron and AD. And, him being ball dominant, I also see a world where he could be the starting point guard next year if we don't end up getting a Kyrie or a Fred VanVleet or even end up re-signing D'Lo. But I definitely am optimistic going into this offseason because the pieces around LeBron and AD right now, like I said, with Reeves, with Rui, and you have a bunch of other plug-in pieces, you have money to make, things work and us to actually have a solid roster because we went through the trade deadline. It was somewhat addition by subtraction, even though certain players did not, play playoff time. Like didn't not play, but didn't live up to expectations. Like D'Lo didn't live up. We already knew what Vando was, and Malik Beasley didn't play at all. So those are 3 players that came up in the trade, and with the Russ trade, that just gave more space for Austin Reeves to develop and be able to play more. So like I said, addition by subtraction. While we did get better through the trade, at the same time, we didn't get significantly better because of the pieces that we brought in. I think it was more so just different opportunities for other people. Also with Rui stepping up and playing the way that he did. So it's just a lot of things that go into it. So retaining Rui and Reeves is the second, most important thing. And then thirdly, are we going to go and get a third star or are we going to go and, fill out the bench? I personally feel like they should go and get Kyrie. Now, I know what Tief is about to say. I know you're not a fan of that. But let's think about it. They can have the exact same rotation pieces that they just threw out this playoffs last year and have Kyrie instead of D'Lo. And you place Kyrie in the same spots that D'Lo was just in. Like you put Kyrie on the Lakers this most recent run and you have him combating Jamal Murray instead of D'Lo, please. It's a completely different series. It's a completely different series.
But there's literally no way we keep Rui if we get Kyrie.
That's not true. That's not true. You
can take a pay cut. Yes, take a pay cut.
Sign and trade. I don't know how. Either sign and trade Or hey, who knows what spiritual journey Kyrie is on? Who knows if he doesn't want a max contract? Who knows? Kyrie might come 1 year, $20 million.
Did you see his? I know you saw his live. You sent it to the Discord.
I was on his Instagram live.
Yeah, I'm about to say so. He doesn't even want. He's not coming to the Lakers, bro. I don't think he's wanting to come to the Lakers. Not only that, it's like Kyrie is such a big if, bro. Like it's like you don't even know.
I understand he's a big if. Obviously I'm just talking to if he's on the floor, like when he's on the floor. When he's on the floor, if he was on the Lakers. Yes, that's a huge upgrade. I understand, like, you know how Kyrie can be Kyrie and go off on his own tangent. And, like I understand all, that side of it. But I'm strictly thinking because this past season, other than obviously the anti-Semitic post that he, brought up, like outside of that, but we've been saying that for the last 3 years. But outside of that, when he's on the floor, he's producing. So it's like, he wasn't all NBA this year, but he was an all-star starter when he did play. Like he had a really good year from start to finish, in my opinion. So
I just
you go next or me go next?
I'll go. I haven't really looked at the numbers in response to JD. I haven't really looked at the numbers, but as I've been like talking with other Lakers fans, in the Discord and stuff like that, I don't see the scenario where we keep Rui and Austin Reeves and get Kyrie because there's no way he's getting it. Like, bro, allegedly he has a $200 million handshake deal with the Mavericks right now. I don't know how true that is, but I don't think Kyrie wanted a big contract, a long contract extension before he even left the Nets. That was one of the reasons he left the Nets. And so I'm pretty sure he's probably going to want around $40 million. And I think the most we can give him with Rui and Reeves retaining them is probably around 35. And I don't even know. Like, I think, what do you like? So you saying
I'm saying is that like he was just
$5 bill pay cut. Yeah, $5 bill pay cut for a better chance to win a ring is not crazy.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Thank you.
Well, I don't know. You don't know. I don't know what Kyrie had at. I've seen the Instagram live. I don't know.
I will say Kyrie happening is more plausible than Trae Young getting traded to the Lakers.
Yeah, that's insane. I don't know why who brought that up. That's a dumb idea. That's not a good idea. He's making more money than Kyrie. Like I don't know. That's insane.
Can I
go ahead, yeah.
I was gonna say Trae Young's been like I feel like a trade rumor for a while now. Atlanta was like there was rumors about that mid-year.
Not to the Lakers though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, okay, I remember like OKC, like I saw their name getting put in the system, and we have Shea, so it made no sense. I don't know these whole sign and trade things. Like, if you're keeping Rui and Reeves, like, what are you really giving up to get these third stars? Like, that's the issue.
D'Lo, Malik Beasley, and Troy Brown. D'Lo and Malik Beasley. That's like what D'Lo just made 30. And Malik Beasley was making 17 last year.
D'Lo's
a free agent. That's not moving anybody.
D'Lo's a free agent.
I'm saying for Kyrie.
D'Lo a free agent, so he gonna have to sign a contract. So he probably
allegedly
he's worth around 18 million, and then I think Malik Beasley is probably 7. He's at 17 million right now. So that's like what 35 right there. So maybe it can happen.
D'Lo is worth what?
18. I might have a whole.
I mean, on the Lakers, obviously he's not going to be worth $30 million. I don't think 17 million is crazy.
No, that's not crazy for D'Lo. D'Lo is trash. D'Lo is trash. He's not making more than $18 million.
20 point per game score that's also shooting 40% from the three.
Yeah,
bro, I'm sorry.
18 mil is not crazy. I'm sorry. 18 mil is not crazy for D'Lo.
Yeah, D'Lo is not good at.
No. Like, I'm saying, like, I would pay 18 million for D'Lo easy. I would pay 18 mil for D'Lo easy.
I would not pay that much for D'Lo.
Like, see if I can get D'Lo for a pay cut for $5 million.
I'm not paying D'Lo more than $20 million.
I'm not
paying D'Lo more than $20 million. I'm not paying like. He's a negative on the basketball courts. If he's not making his shots, he doesn't provide any like type of.
He's a negative if they're not making their shots though,
bro. Because it's oftentimes when we
can defense.
No. Yeah. So when it comes to playoff time, D'Lo always falls off of extreme clips like every single time.
Always.
Every single time.
He's been in the playoffs like twice.
Y'all be dragging that.
No. That's not a narrative. That's not a narrative. He's been at 3 times. And every time he gets there, he's terrible. Like
he's not played good the first 2 rounds of the playoffs.
He was to me inconsistent. In some games he played good, some games he played all right. I mean,
that is the playoffs though.
I understand that. But when the lights come on, he can't do it, man. He can't do it. I don't think D'Lo should be on the Lakers another day in his career. They should not re-sign him at all. Don't even think about it. The highest you can go is a sign and trade. I don't want D'Lo on the Lakers. He's not good come playoff time. He can't play defense. Hold on, he can't play defense. And he can't even play in a role. It's like, bro, all you needed to do was be a third guy besides Anthony Davis and LeBron James, two of the top 15 players in the NBA. You couldn't even do that efficiently. You're not even getting the most of the attention offensively, and you can't even produce offensively without shooting, having terrible nights, having a whole bunch of turnovers, not playing any defense. He can't be the third guy. That was Austin Reeves. He can't even be the fourth guy. We saw in Minnesota, he couldn't be the third guy either. Like we've seen in Minnesota many instances, he can't be the one, can't be the two, can't be the three. He can't even be the four effectively. Like he can't even be the four with Austin Reeves stepping up this Lakers. So I don't want D'Lo. I'm not paying him anything. I don't want the Lakers to pay him $18 million. If any other team, go ahead. I don't care. That's not my concern. I don't want him anywhere near LeBron. Not in 30 feet of LeBron. Don't come near LeBron. You are done. You had your time.
If the Lakers can make him take a $12 million pay cut, you wouldn't let him do that? You wouldn't?
No, he sucks, JD. Like in the playoffs, he's terrible. We've seen it time and time again. Every time he makes the playoffs, he's trash. Like I don't hear that, bro. He's not affecting. He doesn't affect the game.
For one series this playoff run.
The Lakers need smart players, and he's not a high IQ player. I'm sorry, he needs to go. Now that's not.
D'Lo, I think outside of defense, his number one issue is the fact that he doesn't attack the rim. Like,
and he turns the ball over a little bit too much for my liking.
That's fine. I mean, yeah, that's too. But like Austin Reeves was able to succeed while shooting 40% from three because he would attack the rim and get to the free throw line. Like,
yeah,
D'Lo, obviously that's never been his game. But I'm saying at least put some type of pressure on the rim, whether it be a floater or try to get to the rim with a layup or a hand.
He's doing them dumb little mid-range shots, bro. That gets so annoying. Like, dude, I don't know who you think you are, bro.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's all of his shots are from 15 out or 15 to 20.
He takes a little contested twos. Like he always takes contested mid-ranges.
Jump. I mean, he doesn't get to the rim at whatsoever. That's what I'm saying. Like that's his number one problem.
I didn't want that to be a main point of my tangent, but when you said D'Lo it kind of enraged me because watching him in this series was disgusting on so many levels. I don't know why Darvin Ham. He must have something on Darvin Ham because he kept playing him in like 3 straight games where he was terrible. He should have just set him. I would like to see some. I don't care what nobody said. Malik Beasley was trash. In the season, you got to throw somebody out there. Troy Brown, Lonnie, somebody. Just get him off the court. But anyways, what I want to say is I don't think they should get Kyrie. I think they should continue what they built this year with a whole training stat, like a whole, training camp with these players, a whole offseason with these players, building some more chemistry with these players. I don't want Vano to start anymore because he's limited offensively when it comes to the playoffs, so he can come off the bench and be a Swiss Army knife off the bench for us. But I think they should re-sign Austin Reeves, re-sign Rui, and go get a center, like a actual defensive. A stretch 5 would be ideal. Put AD at the 4. Anthony Davis is a power forward. Stop making him play center if he doesn't want to play center. He obviously doesn't want to do that. So put him at the 4 and let's go get a center. Now I have some free agents. It's the free agent class for centers is not that good. I think they try to look at, like I don't know because Derek Lively doesn't fit the timeline because he's so young, but Brook Lopez, I think he might either resign. He's gonna want to get a bag, so I don't know if we can get him.
Lopez is not an option.
Yeah, Vucevic not an option. He sucks on defense. I don't want him. Jakob Poto, I feel like that's an option. It depends on how much money he wants. As a rim protector,
he just got traded to Toronto. I don't think he would leave.
He's unrestricted free agent though, so who knows? Christian Wood, I don't know. Christian Wood, maybe. I think he going to bag though.
Anthony Davis.
Yeah, but he going to the bag though. He going to the bag. That'd be great for spacing though.
He just had. Who's gonna really give him a bag? Like, what is a bag for Christian Wood?
Latif. Latif, not as your starter. Are you cool with Mo Bamba re-signing him as a rotational piece?
The idea of Mo Bamba is actually better than the player because the idea of Mo Bamba is like
as a
3D big
rotational piece.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, they need like big depth off the bench. So it depends. If Mo Bamba taking like a pay cut, yeah.
If he was injured, I'm sorry. If he was injured and in the playoffs, I get he's not offensively helping out as much at all as AD was, and he's not as good defensively. But he could fill in for a couple minutes to let AD take a rest.
Yeah, the idea of Mo Bamba is great.
You could try and get some pick and roll sets with Bron. He's a big guy. Like I think defensively, like he could sub in for a little bit and relieve AD, relieve another center. Like I think it is options. I think Brook Lopez is amazing. LeBron and Brook Lopez in a pick and roll is like phenomenal, but it's too much money.
Yeah. So then next up, another one is like Mason Plumlee. That's not gonna get that too much thought, but like Nas Reed would be amazing, but he might get a bag. But having Nas Reed as a stretch 5 that can defend the rim a little bit next to AD and stretch the floor would be amazing. So maybe they try to go get like Nas Reed on a pay cut. Dwight Powell, that's not ideal, but I wouldn't be too mad like a Dwight Powell or something like that. Then Thomas Bryant, not bringing him back because you want to leave like an idiot. And then it's like Andre Drummond, a reunion. What y'all think about that? No,
I think Christian Wood should be the play.
Christian Wood.
I don't mind Drummond. Actually as much. That's actually not terrible.
No, he sucks. And
I don't mind him.
Christian Wood is exactly what you're asking for. Yeah, I mean, defensively, he's not, that sound, but I think you put him around a lot of, good defenders.
Mike Muscala?
He can shoot.
Not a bad option. Not a bad option. They got Drew Eubanks, Jock Lindell. Bismack Biyombo would be decent. I think we should have probably made a harder run at Kevin Love in a trade deadline. I would love to bring Kevin Love because he's a great passer.
He's playing good.
Yeah, he's playing good the playoffs. He's a great shooter, great passer, great rebounder. Just doesn't bring that defense edge. We got Anthony Davis for that. So having Kevin Love as 5, I would love to have that. But I wish I would have got him. And then after that, it just goes down and down the hill. So that's some of the free agents. I think they need to put 80 at the 4. And but
can I hop in quick with my stuff? My big issue is I'm not doing what Jaden and Zay are saying with LeBron spiraling down, and I'm not gonna overreact. But LeBron can't keep doing this. He can't keep, carrying this team. So he's shown he's inconsistent as far as being the guy, right? Because LeBron had to take over and be the guy. So I don't know if this team wins by just retooling with a couple other stars. I don't know if Kyrie's that guy you need to go get. Like, in a perfect world, I get you don't have the assets to get it. Trae Young would be great, in my opinion. I think Trae Young would be good on this team. I think you could take LeBron off the court, and he could actually get an entire offensive set. I think Trae Young could run an offense. With LeBron off the court, he could take a break, and Trae Young could run it, obviously, right? All-star, all-NBA caliber player. So I think they need another guy. I don't know who it is, and that's the issue. I don't know who it is. They need another star, in my opinion, because I don't think, especially with how good Denver was, I get all 4 games were close, but I don't think just throwing out the same team and retooling is beating that Denver team. That Denver team was good, right? And Denver's only going to go to the summer, and I get they got to pay people, but they only get a year better, right? They get more experience. Now they've been to the finals. They know what to do, right? So I think all these teams are getting better. I don't know if it's just going to work to – Rui was great, right? Rui was great at times. He was the number 1 scorer, right? Austin Reeves was great. He could knock down shots. But,
they need to keep Rui. They need to keep Rui and Austin Reeves. That's literally
But when it comes down to your team, LeBron's getting older, right? He's not gonna. I'm sorry, there's not gonna be a resurgence to where LeBron is going back to prime LeBron. If anything, I think he'll stay where he's at, right? Which is a great player, right? Top 10, top 15 players we talked. But I think with injuries and stuff, that's the one thing as you get older, right? That probably will happen. So he might miss more time. AD might miss more time, and unless Rui and Austin Reeves make this jump to be a all-star level player, it's just I don't see it happening where it's gonna do this crazy thing, right? Austin Reeves, I think ceiling. I don't think Austin Reeves' ceiling right now is all-star player. I don't think he's shown enough to be an all-star caliber player. If you guys agree or disagree,
no, I agree.
I think they could be great role players, and unfortunately, the NBA great role players get paid a lot of money now. So it's you can't really afford to do that. So I think I like Fred VanVleet a lot. I think he's got the championship pedigree. He can play defense, but the price is the only issue. I think the price is very if it's too much, I feel like I'm kind of cheap when it comes to the players nowadays. If I'd be a GM, I don't want to pay Fred VanVleet 25 mil, over 4 years. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do 4 years, 100 mil. I would have, but at the same time, I would have been the same way with Jalen Brunson last year, right? I didn't want to give him that bag. New York didn't, it worked out.
Fred VanVleet has a player option. He's making $22 million this year. He can either opt in or opt out. But I think
I think he'll opt out. I think he'll opt out because I think he'll get money somewhere. I think somebody will want him.
Fred VanVleet is a great option. If he opts in, and we can trade him for Malik Beasley, I think it's another player. I saw someone saying that a trade idea. Fred VanVleet is a great option. Putting Fred VanVleet at the 1, Austin Reeves at the 2, LeBron at 3, 4 AD, then start getting a 5.
I think
that'd be amazing. You said what?
Options. What's up?
I'm saying him as a consistent, but that's what we're talking about. LeBron in general, that's the reason. I personally feel like another reason he did the whole retiring thing was to put more pressure on the front office to come in and make moves so they can be a complete team. They can really compete for a championship next year, and probably next year being his last year as a Laker. I think he's putting the pressure on them. So I don't think Fred VanVleet is the answer, especially because Fred, obviously as a scoring option can be inconsistent sometimes. I remember this year he had a drought where he was shooting. His shooting splits were god awful for a long time.
But he wasn't playing. He wasn't playing besides Anthony Davis and LeBron James. He's playing on that trash Toronto Raptors team. That roster is terrible.
If you want to assure your offense, being able to let LeBron coast and let him coast throughout the regular season while the offense still be peaking at the same time, I just feel like when you have a consistent scoring threat at the point guard position, that's gonna get the best out of not only them but everybody around them. And I'm sorry, I think Kyrie is where they have to go, bro. I've been saying this for the last year and a half. I think they've been teasing us ever since last June with the Kyrie to the Lakers thing. It was last June, and it was at the trade deadline, and now here we go again. And I think this is the final time that it's gonna have to happen because LeBron is openly like begging for Kyrie to get there, and Kyrie is showing up to Laker games in the playoffs. Like obviously,
Trae Young. I'm sorry, Trae Young. This is
Trae Young's right.
Trae Young's been here a couple of times now.
Right. So I think, those, I don't think that's a coincidence, bro. I'm sorry. I think that there's like
you gotta go in delusion again. You're gonna be in delusion.
College visits. Teeth, you talking about you might transfer. That might be you going on a college visit. That's the same thing with Kyrie and them. I'm sure Kyrie talked to Rob Pelinka, bro, that day. Come on, bro.
Oh, see, my main issue is what are you giving Kyrie a 1-year deal? Or are you signing him for 4?
He wants a long-term contract.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm scared. I would much rather trade assets for a young guy in Trae Young who has he's got a longer career ahead of him, right? Kyrie's good right now. I think right now I'd probably take Kyrie over Trae Young. But like Trae Young and that, like, you could build with maybe you trade the farm for Trae Young, right? And you can't do that.
Where are we getting $43 million?
There's no pick, but you also have to trade picks for Trae Young, and they don't have any first.
So where are we getting $43 million?
You gotta. I'm just saying, like,
where are we getting $43 million? Anybody know? Because I don't know. I don't know where you're getting that money.
Malik Beasley is $43 million.
I don't know. I'm just also like I said, I don't have the guy. I'm in a fantasy land of who would look good on that team. But the two guys,
Hawks are not gonna do that.
The two guys who could be cheap, and I think who could be good role players on that team, if you need to go with a cheap guard, are the Jones brothers. If you go for Tyus or you go for Trae, Trae is a free agent. If you could try and trade for what you saying? I'm sorry. Did you watch the Memphis series?
Look. We had depth this whole post trade deadline. We had depth. Depth was the biggest thing people were talking about, having depth going into the playoffs. Yes, when we saw in moments that we needed it, like Lonnie Walker comes off the bench, scored 15 fourth quarter points. Like we see it with not with Reeves, but we see it with Ruby coming off the bench, playing great, exceptional. We see it when other people, like even in small, stints, like Tristan Thompson came in and actually played well. Like, people would. I think we overrate. I'm not gonna say we overrate depth, but like to an extent, especially on a team like this, you're gonna need to have like a go-to like solid scorer on a perimeter, and the Lakers did not have that.
I agree, but what teams are left in the finals? Denver, depth. Miami, depth.
Does Denver really play their depth as much as we act like?
I'm sorry, Denver's got 7-8 guys who can go out and hoop every
night. They didn't play them though. It was Jamal Murray and Jokic, MPJ, KCP. They starting lineup mostly did. Bruce Brown was really the only person that had an impact off the bench in this entire series.
I'm sorry. Wait, you said this series?
Yes.
Okay, because the series past, you had. I'm sorry, Christian Brown was playing good defensively. He was supporting other, you can laugh all you want. I'm sorry. Nice. You watched the Phoenix series. Look Christian Brown to double team and help out on Kevin Durant with what?
No, he was good, but that's not. It's a reason.
I'm just saying,
it's a reason he didn't play this series. It's the reason he didn't play because in the playoffs is when the time comes.
Christian Brown to me.
Depth don't matter that much sometimes.
He's a first-year guy. It's his first playoff series. He played.
That's what I'm saying, T. Like depth, especially come playoff time. In the biggest moments, what is depth helping you out with? Honestly, you can capitalize off depth throughout the season. Like you can add.
Kyrie is so sporadic and it's like such moments, I don't even know.
Y'all saw this trade deadline recently. People are giving up. You trade X amount of second round picks, you can get a solid player in return.
Jordan, what happened to Phoenix? Like at the same time, like Phoenix, I get they lost CP3, but their depth was a big issue. They couldn't play guys out, right? You had KD.
They didn't have one person off the bench though. Not one person. At all.
They did. They just didn't play him. They didn't play. I'm sorry. TJ Warren and Terrence Ross, I would put them on a bench.
Warren was playing and he was trashed.
He didn't play for he didn't play the whole first series. He didn't play the first 2 series.
And they won. So that's what I'm saying. They won it. They didn't really need him.
You take 3 weeks
off. They really needed him. He didn't show up. He wasn't on.
You take 3 weeks off from playing a game. It's like, all right, play against the best team in basketball. Let's see what you do. That's crazy.
I mean, isn't that his job? Isn't that what depth is supposed to bring? Isn't that what role players are supposed to bring?
You got to piece people into the line. That's not depth. That's just someone saying, I haven't played basketball in 2 weeks.
If they don't, Chris, you just look at the contracts some of these players are on. Like, they don't have room to operate depth. Like, they're talking about Chris Paul is coming back next year. The Suns ain't on nothing as long as Chris Paul is on the team. As long as Ayton is on the team too.
So Jordan, you think that the Lakers can honestly have this team? I don't. So you want Kyrie? I get it. let's just say Kyrie's out the picture, right? Let's say Dallas gives him $200 million, don't care. Are you honestly okay with just re-signing Rui, re-signing Reeves, re-signing D'Lo, and saying let's run it back?
Not D'Lo. I'd rather go get Fred because Fred is actually gonna play defense.
So I don't know how much cap space they got. So you got LeBron, you got AD, you got Jay Vando. You're re-signing Rui and you're re-signing Reeves for whatever he might get. I feel like someone's just gonna try and mess the Lakers and try and give him like a crazy contract.
That's
You know what I'm
exactly
saying?
what's gonna happen.
Like
That's
someone like Orlando or someone like some weird team is gonna come in and offer him like 27 mil or some crazy number and just make LA mad. But you got those 5 guys: Vando, LeBron, AD, Reeves, and Rui. Like, so I don't know how much money you got after that because that's what 20 mil, 20 mil.
Off the top of my head, D'Lo's making 30 right now. Malik Beasley's on a team option, which they are going to decline. He's making 17 right now. Mo Bamba's making like 11 right now. He's actually guaranteed for next. No, he's not actually. He's on a 2-year deal, but his second year is non-guaranteed, so they can trade him this offseason and get some cap space back for that. So basically cap relief. Then you got to think about Lonnie Walker was on mid-level exception. Will he come back? Doubt it. And also we have a mid-level exception next year too, which is going to go up for $7 million.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying there's more cap space than we're acting like it is.
Can you? I don't even know. Can you fit Fred VanVleet in that?
Yes,
probably. I'm sure.
So you fit Fred. I mean, I'm trying to think about because if Austin Reeves is 25, and how much is Rui going to get? 20?
he's not getting 25, bro. He's not getting 25. He's not getting 25.
Shit.
I think some team is going to come around and
see ya.
I mean,
hey, it's up to LA. But I'm just saying, if you're saying LA needs him as much as they do, someone's going to mess around and offer him 25.
If he doesn't, see ya. I'm sorry. I'm not paying that.
Sure. And we already know the Lakers, Jeannie Buss has been like hesitant to pay luxury tax. So I doubt we see like a Golden State situation where they go all out.
I don't think Rui's getting 20 either. Rui's definitely not getting 20. I just got
Rui get like 15.
Yeah, Rui not getting 20.
With like 9, 10 right now.
Yeah, but I think we talked a lot about the Lakers, and I don't want to like not shed light on the Nuggets making it to the finals, which they actually did make it to the finals. I want to give our respect and praises to the Nuggets because we've been seeing like the last few years they have been dealing with injuries and the narratives around Jokic MVP season and if he deserved it and if his play translates to the playoffs. It's just all been disproved this playoff run with Michael Malone being a great coach, Nikola Jokic having an all-time great level postseason run he just broke the record for triple doubles with Chamberlain. So all the narratives about Jokic have been proved false, and I think it's clear now that Nikola Jokic is the best player in the NBA. Undoubtedly. Before the season, you probably could say Giannis, but he's put a little bit of gap between Jokic and himself and Giannis. I think Jokic is clearly the best player in the NBA. This playoff run has proved that for me. I don't know if you guys have any other things to say about that, but for me, Jokic is the best player in the NBA. He's all-time great offensive player. He's his impact offensively is all-time great. So this year he's proved to be his best player in the NBA. Especially this finals run.
I might still have Giannis. And
no,
I still have Giannis.
Nah, buddy. You lose in the first round to the AC.
You played 2 games.
Hold on.
Hey, that's not an excuse.
Can I just say my thing? I was just saying.
It's not an excuse. He didn't play.
Can I say my thing?
In game 5, he shot 10 for 23 from the free throw line. We're not doing that.
Hold on.
We know this already. Why are we holding it against? My bad. Go ahead, Max.
No, you're good. I was gonna say I gotta apologize to the Denver Nuggets. They're really good at basketball. I thought it's just in years past, like they've had the excuses of injuries and whatever, and I thought it was gonna be another thing, right? Like I thought it was just because they weren't built for it. That team's built to win a championship. I don't care whatever hype Boston or Miami gets. Denver's a really good basketball team. I think Denver, whatever. We'll talk about that later. I think Denver's really good. Just got to give them their flowers. I said what? LA in 6? Yeah, that was not even close. So Denver's very good. But yeah, no, I whatever. If I'm still disrespecting Jokic even more, Jokic is the best offensive player in the league. I don't think that's crazy to say. But Giannis does it on both sides of the ball. He had one bad playoff series where he played 2 games. I'm sorry, you can go back to Jokic's 2 years ago.
He did not even play bad. He shot bad from the free throw line. And he has
which was one of the reasons they lost.
He had 40 and 20. You're talking about he's one of the reasons they lost.
Yes, because down the stretch he didn't play well in the fourth quarter. I watched the game, bro. He did not play that well down the stretch.
I did too. I'm saying everybody on the team didn't play well. Nobody played well,
bro. When people talk about the defensive gap between Jokic and Giannis, it's a big gap. But we're not gonna act like Jokic is a terrible defender. Like we saw in this series against Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis thought he could just overpower him and score him, and it did not work. I think Jokic was very good defensively in this playoff series in this very small sample size. But Jokic he clears Giannis on offense, and I'm low key he clears him. I'm not gonna lie, he does. Like it's definitely a gap offensively. Like he can shoot,
but
he can shoot, pass. He has a major touch. Like, come on.
The gap offensively is so much smaller than the gap defensively.
I agree with that. Yes. So that was my whole argument.
Resumes are basically the same.
That was my whole argument for Giannis being. That was my whole argument for Giannis being better than Jokic. You know, coming into this postseason. But when we look at the postseason, Giannis' postseason track record besides 2021 is not that good. Like every time he runs into like a elite defense, a team that can stop him, he gets stopped. I don't want to hear it, man. Like Toronto Raptors, the Celtics. I think
what's Jokic's playoff track record before this?
Bro, he was amazing in the playoffs before this. His teammates got hurt. Like every year, in 2020 in the bubble, he lost to the eventual champions. In 2021, he lost to the eventual champions. In 2022, well, not the eventual champions, but the Suns didn't win. But in 2021, the Suns made the finals. In 2022, he had no help and lost to the Warriors in 5 games. But in all these playoff series, he was elite offensively. Like, come on, what are we talking about? Every single time he touches the playoffs, he elevates. His hands go up.
In 2019, Giannis lost to the eventual champions, and they only lost when Kawhi Leonard, arguably the best defensive player in the world, picked him up because they were up 2-0. And their one game plan was to put Kawhi on offense game.
He still has deficiencies offensive game. Like he doesn't have that much creativity. He doesn't have a shot, and that limits you in the playoffs when teams could just pack the lane, build a wall, and then force your players to have to hit shots. And if they don't hit shots, you're not gonna win because that's not a problem with Jokic because he is such an amazing passer. He's such an amazing scorer. He has such an amazing touch around the basket. Jokic is the best player in the league right now, and this playoff run is proving that. This is probably one of the greatest playoff runs we've seen in a minute, like single-handedly. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So
agreed.
He just beat Anthony Davis. He just beat KD and Book when they're both going crazy. Let's not do that. Once he finishes off this finals run, it's gonna be one of the ones, especially in like the last 5-6 years. It's gonna be one of the ones, but probably like top 3. Like we'll be honest. Like,
top 3 all time?
No, I said last 5-6 years. What are you talking about?
Years.
Okay, that's top 60%. That's not that much. We're not gonna think that's crazy. And that was
the last 10 years. He probably has had like one of the better.
Yeah, like we can't have Giannis, bro. Like we're not gonna lie. Like in his playoff.
You're nasty for pulling that out though, trying to say that Jokic had hurt teams. Like Giannis also didn't have hurt teams in that same stretch. Giannis himself didn't get hurt. In 2020, Giannis got hurt. This year, Giannis got hurt.
In 2021, he got hurt. During the finals run, he got hurt. And he still won.
Like Giannis didn't play, like you said. 2019, he played the Raptors, went on to win the championship. 2020, played the Heat, went on to go to the championship. 2021, he won it all. 2022, lost to the Celtics without his number 2 scoring option on the team and still took them 7, but fine. And then this year, same thing. He played 2 games.
What are you doing in Game 7?
What did he do in Game 7?
He got outplayed in Game 6 by Tatum, and in Game 7, what did he do? Thank you. That's all I got to say. Like, Giannis' track record in the playoffs is not that good. Like,
he has a chip, bro. Stop.
Yeah, how was that's a
bro? I said
that's gross. That is gross.
In 2021, yes,
because Finals MVP. We're talking about his track record in the playoffs.
Yes. In 2021, you're talking about the year when KD and when that series is over. You
have to win the ring every year.
No, I don't. But he outside of that 1 year, he's done it. His track record in the playoffs has not been that good.
I can say that about outside of this year that they did this. Like, are we looking at their careers any differently?
We're nitpicking because we have to nitpick against these are the 2 best players in the league. So we're gonna nitpick. We're gonna nitpick, and our reason, like when Jokic, I believe the Nuggets are winning the finals this year. I believe the Nuggets are winning the finals this year. So when they both have 1 championship, we're gonna really see. When Giannis, they both have 2 MVPs. The only thing is separating them is the Defensive Player of the Year award. But Jokic finals run is way more impressive than Giannis final run, and that cannot be debated. Facts.
Sure.
He played. Bro, we all know Brooklyn was gonna whoop their ass if he didn't get injured. If Harden didn't get injured and Kyrie didn't get injured, that series was over. If
LeBron has a tendon in his foot this year,
no, they can probably. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You don't know what?
They can still probably beat the Lakers. I mean, Like LeBron had some bad games, but it's like,
If LeBron was playing the way that he was playing in January, right now,
but you still got to look at like D'Lo playing bad and not being able to play Malik Beasley and like all and Vando not being playable, all that other stuff.
The biggest difference in each game this series was what? 3 points each game. Each game came down to the wire. Yeah, they got swept, but like I understand, like so, like I don't know if y'all saw like Brian Windhorst was saying like the Lakers got swept in the best fashion that they could, like just the best looking sweep ever. Like I don't agree with that, but like I get where he's coming from. Like literally every single game came down to the wire. Every single game came down to the last 2 minutes. So
and they were terrible in the clutch.
If we're looking at if we're getting a LeBron that's still able to, like, obviously you can see a big difference in, like I said, LeBron before the injury and LeBron post the injury. Like his explosiveness is not there. Like I don't think I saw him dunk the ball one time this entire series. Like
no, he definitely dunked the ball, but it's like you could. I think that's why he set up so many threes though.
It's just about how he's getting out of transition, and a lot of it is transition points. Like we saw him smoking layups, airballing layups, and things like that. Those are points that he kept on the board. And when I look at it, when I look at it, like if you have a healthy LeBron, I think this series goes differently because LeBron went from being regular LeBron is averaging 34, 33 points a game in the playoffs to him putting up 23 or 24 a game. Like that's 10 points. I'm not saying it's going to be a drastic difference. Like I don't think the Lakers win, but I definitely think they don't get swept if he's healthy.
I agree with that too. But yeah, I just want to give the credit to the Nuggets. I think
at the end of the day, like the Nuggets obviously deserve credit. The way Jokic, obviously we already knew who he was. Oh, at least I did. I already knew who he was beforehand and before this run. You give him some healthy teammates around him. This is what I've been vouching that I feel like he can do. Especially Jamal Murray playing the way that he is, like a strong number two, at times being their go-to scorer, number one option. You look at Bruce Brown coming in, playing the way he did off the bench in key moments during the series. Michael Porter Jr. hitting shots, especially in a prove-it year where people were saying like he wasn't worth his money. And, you can still say he probably isn't worth $200 million, 5 years, $200 million. But, he at least stepped up and, was there when he hit shots and that was the biggest thing that's my biggest takeaway from the series in general is the Nuggets were
crazy.
were able to hit shots in the biggest moments possible. Like whenever they needed a bucket, they found one. And championship teams do that. Elite offenses do that. And when you have Jokic and Jamal Murray peaking, like they're playing peak levels right now. I don't see any team that can beat them. Like I agree when Brown was saying like this is probably the best team to come out the Western Conference in since Golden State, in my opinion. So
you're talking about 2017, 2018.
Well, I personally think the 2020 Lakers are better, but still, like this is probably the best team outside of that team. Like this is probably the best.
Yeah,
team.
No, I agree.
Yeah, this is probably the best team outside of that team that we've seen in the Western Conference in the last 5 years.
Yeah, and I counted out Miami every single series, even coming up to this Celtics series, even when it went up 2-0, I didn't think they were still going to win. I think the Celtics was just a much better team, and a much better team with much more depth would prevail. But in the finals, I'm going to count out the Heat again. I think the Nuggets are just a completely better team. They're the best player in the series. Spoelstra is a better coach, but I think the Nuggets have just shown the ability to have they like every time they go down, like every time they get a punch in the mouth, they so resilient. They've come back from leads. They've held leads when the teams win a run, stuff like that. They've been the most resilient. They've been the best team in the playoffs up until now. So I'm going to have to go with the Nuggets to win the finals.
I'm sorry. Mike Malone, though, is coaching out of his mind. Every single thing that the Lakers did, he fought back. Like, Mike Malone is going to be like, I think Eric Spoelstra is probably still the best coach in the league. But Mike Malone is not going to be some pushover that, right? I don't think Mike Malone's really showed many holes, right? Mazzulla showed holes. Thibodeau showed holes. Bud, obviously, everything that went down in Milwaukee, like, it's kind of like every coach shown holes. Mike Malone, like, I'm sorry, he's handled business. Like,
no, I agree.
They've done what they had to do. Like, Malone seemed absolutely pissed after game 1 and 2. That's why I was kind of like, oh, like LA's got it. But in the back of my head, it's like, I don't know. Like that seemed like they were like on some villain shit. They were
Nuggets can be up 15, like up 15-20. I saw this in the Sun series a lot. He's gonna be up 15-20. He called time out. He's screaming in the huddle. We got to be better. Like he knows the levels of the team could be. Like he knows this team can win a championship, and so it's like every moment for him is a teaching moment. Even when they're up 20, he's like, we got to get in our sets. We got to execute on offense, and we got to be the best team we could be, even up 20. So that's why I think Mike Malone is a great coach, and I think that's why the Nuggets won the championship. Because even
Mike
when
Malone, but like this is their year. You know what I'm saying? Like this was their year.
this has to
No
this
injuries.
has to be
Jokic didn't get the MVP, right? There's no like this is their year. Like if there's any year to do it, it was this year, right? All these excuses, like they had good teams in the past, they were injured. Like if they don't get it done this year, you got to look at yourself and be like, okay, like what are we doing wrong, right? Is Mike Malone the issue? Is whatever the issue? Everybody stepped up. Mike Malone stepped up. Jokic stepped up. Murray's had a couple bad times, but he's come back in the fourth, right? Murray stepped up. MPJ's playing. Like everyone is going on all cylinders. Like no one's trying to take this chance for granted. Like this Denver team, like that's what I'm saying. Like this Denver team is good. Like it is a team. Like me growing up, like watching basketball, it's always been that's like the big three, right? Who's got the best, like top dogs? And I get what you're saying, Jordan. Like when it comes down to the playoffs, like depth doesn't always really matter, right? If you got LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, like it doesn't really matter because you got those three guys, and you could throw in Shane Battier or Mario Chalmers. It doesn't really matter because they're just fillers at this point in time. But Denver's showing that like you can be a team and still win that championship, right? Miami came in 2020. We all thought that was going to be right, like like we didn't think they were going to make it, but like Miami showed that a team could make it, but they obviously didn't win, right? LA put them away in 6, whatever. Like it's been top dogs winning, right? Last year, I get people like to hate on that, whatever. That team wasn't good. It was all Curry. Curry played great, but there was still good player, right? Wiggins played great. Jordan Poole, you can say whatever you want. He was not the third best player. Draymond, Clay, like they had good players. This team, like, I don't think is Jamal Murray a top 20 player before the playoffs came in?
no.
Is he a top 25 player before the playoffs came in?
He's not
right?
a top 20 player.
Yeah, and I'm like,
he's not a 30 player.
But he's elevated his game this playoffs, right? To be a go-to guy. He's elevated his game this playoffs. Aaron Gordon, he had a pretty slow start, but he played when it mattered, right? He's only been averaging like 9 points, I think, this playoffs or something I saw, which isn't great, but he's been effective, right? He played defense on KD. Like he was helping them win. MPJ, obviously, they've got good players on the bench. Like this is what I'm saying with this Lakers team is like, I know I'm not trying to go back to it, but like I don't know if like this team works without Jokic though. And I get it. I'm still saying the second best player, but like he's making this championship team run by himself. But this team is like, I don't know. Like for me watching basketball, I don't think I've seen a team like this before. Like where it's literally a cohesive team. And Mike Malone's at the head of that. And I don't know. Mike Malone, I think he puts himself in that upper echelon of coaching. If he can, obviously go against Miami, but if they could put Miami away in 4 or 5 games, Mike Malone going into next year is a top guy.
Yeah, probably in terms of NBA right now, upper echelon all time. No.
That's all. Sorry, that's all time.
No, you didn't. I'm just
not all time.
All right, so NBA draft is coming up. I wasn't talking about the game 5 predictions, but I mean, by the time this video comes out, that game's gonna be over. So we probably gonna react to the Celtics losing tonight or whatever happens.
I'm so scared. I'm so nervous that Boston's gonna come back now.
Yes, but I want to get into this NBA draft trivia though. The draft is coming up soon. So I wanted, it's gonna be number 1 overall picks. You're gonna be guessing the number 1 overall picks from I think 1968, so like the last 50 years, something like that. So I think that's the model. I mean, it's gonna be hard. I'm not gonna lie. Because
you just put any name down. You just put any name down.
Yeah. So
right, first, can I?
Hold on. I gotta share my screen. Share my screen. We're gonna get it started. This let me see. I mean, y'all can see it. I hate all these advertisements on it. Y'all can see?
I can see it. I can see.
I bet. Come on.
All right, we got 10 minutes. We're gonna start the quiz.
Joe Smith. Put down Joe Smith. Don't ask me why I know that.
All right, let's get the obvious ones out the way. LeBron.
Wait, hold on. Let's do. I was gonna go.
Cade.
Yeah, Cade.
Edwards.
We got Zion.
You got Ayton.
You gotta do like last names. I think I spelled it wrong. William, son.
Damn, we might not get it because you spelling them wrong. Yeah, last names.
There you go. All right, Arizona. That's DeAndre Ayton. Oh my God, what a bad pick. That's Markelle Fultz.
Simmons and Fultz.
Ben Simmons.
Cat.
Yep, that's Cat.
Anthony Town. Wiggins.
You got to do it.
Hyphen.
Hold on.
That's
Carl Anthony Towns. There you go. Kansas is gonna be Andrew Wiggins.
Wiggs.
Anthony Bennett.
Bennett. I don't, bro.
AD.
If I could do
Kyrie.
twins. Okay.
AD, Kyrie, John Wall. Blake.
Kentucky, man.
Griffin. Yeah, D Rose. Greg Oden. Is that Bargnani?
Italy?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Andrea Bargnani. It's
It's not
Bargnani.
Bargnani. Well, I try, bro. Like, so
It's
how you
Toronto.
spell
Yes,
the
it's
name?
Bargnani.
It's Bargnani. I don't know.
It's
How
like they don't even. Somebody look
You
it up
can
real
look it
quick.
up.
Don't cheat. Just look it up real quick. Huh?
Go
While
to
you
the
doing
next one.
that-
Go to the next one.
Yeah, while you doing that, too, Bogut.
BARG.
This is Howard. This is Dwight Howard.
BARG.
BARG.
BARG. NANI.
Okay. China is gonna be Yao Ming.
Yep,
Yeah.
Ming Brown.
That's
Tommy
gonna be
Brown. Kenyon
who's
Martin.
who?
Brown.
Kenyon Martin. That's Kenyon Martin.
I know this one is coming up, so I'm gonna do this one. Elton Brand.
Kwame Brown.
Michael Olowokandi. Yeah, Kwame. I'll get you to spell Olowokandi.
Duncan is in here.
Iverson.
Hey, I got you. OLOWOKANDI.
KAN.
KANDI.
Okay.
1994 is Glenn Robinson. Chris Webber.
Type in you get the other one. Jordan. Type in Michael Jordan.
He's number 3, dude. What you doing?
Oh, I'm tweaking. Elijah Hakeem.
Wait, Shaq isn't here. O'Neal.
Yeah, Shaq's next.
Yeah.
Larry Johnson.
Yeah, he's in here. Magic Johnson too. So it's probably I'm gonna just put Johnson. Magic Johnson. Louisville. Who was Syracuse 1980? Oh, Ewing is in here somewhere.
Syracuse. Who went to Syracuse? Am I dumb?
Damn.
Oh, Ralph Sampson. Ralph Sampson is in here somewhere. There you go.
That's way far.
I was say no. Sam Boo. No.
You put Hakeem in. Olajuwon.
I don't know about that.
OLA. I think. Wow, this is casual, so I don't know how to spell names. I got you.
Well, I don't know what the first name is in there. That's so
OLA JUWON.
JUWON.
Kansas go Danny Manning, maybe.
Well.
Sacramento. DePaul, Dallas, Mark Aguirre, I think.
Mark Aguirre. I don't know how to spell it either.
AGUIRE. AGUIRE? No C. AGUIRE.
UY.
No, UIRE. How you spell it? Let me see.
I know Kareem is one of these, right? Am I tripping? Kareem's right here. 1969.
Yeah, hey, it's AGUIRE. Sorry.
AGUIRE.
RRE. James Worthy's next, I think.
James Worthy has to be in there.
How you spell Abdul Jabbar?
ABDUL.
Yeah, ABD.
No, I spelled Kareem, man. It works.
I think
who's
Houston, Notre Dame, Chicago.
Wasn't Brad Daughtry somewhere?
Yeah, that's who it is. Yeah. North Carolina, 1986. GHTRY.
What?
DAUGHTRY. TREY. TREY.
I don't know. Is it try like H?
Bro, look at how you spell his name, man. I don't got time for this. We got 4 minutes. Syracuse, New Jersey. Syracuse in 1990. Who was that?
Bing. Just put Bing. Larry Bing. Was he number 1 pick? No.
David Bing. Is Bill Walton up there?
Yeah. Walton is for sure up there. Walton is for sure up there. Yeah.
NC State. Wow, this is bad. Oh, put Isaiah Thomas. Why do I think he got picked? No, he was late. We're definitely missing out on someone.
That Syracuse.
That North Carolina one's Brad Daughtry, I think.
Can you look at my spell his name?
DAUGHERTY. DAUGHERTY. There you go.
Okay. All right, we got 11 more names and 4 minutes left. I'm trying to get all of these, man. Maryland. State. Why does Houston have so many number 1 picks? Jesus Christ.
Who's some like old heads? Let's see. What's the teams?
Portland,
Minnesota, Indiana. Who went to Indiana? That's got to be an easy one.
Detroit. Is that
Where's
Try
Detroit at?
try Bob Lanier, maybe. I don't know.
That's a good one.
No.
That's not a
What
bad one.
the?
There you go.
Yeah.
He
Go
was
on.
number 1 overall.
Yeah, go on.
Um,
NC State. I feel like that one's got to be easy. NC State's. I feel like someone I know.
1990.
Yeah. It's Kerry. I mean, put in Kerry Kittles. I don't think he went 1, but
nah. I don't know why. I'm
Syracuse.
big man.
Syracuse.
Big man.
Wasn't
Do Elvin Hayes here too?
Washington? There you go.
Great
Wasn't he a
pull.
big
Great
dude?
pull.
Wasn't there a big guy going to New Jersey?
Mhm.
Thinking of a big
What
guy.
year? Oh, you talking about 1990?
There's a big dude.
This be from my time. I ain't gonna lie. Notre Dame. He went to Cleveland. I thought a lot of these got to be centers. Illinois State.
Yeah, a lot of the old ones have to be centers.
No, I feel like who's it? I don't know who's 71. I feel like there's some old Cleveland guy I can see with the striped jerseys.
Mark McGuire.
Aguirre.
I mean,
Mark
Aguirre.
Aguirre. You already put it down. Don't worry.
Purdue, Golden State. Who the heck is that?
No clue.
I'm
might
looking
be
at
nuts.
Portland in 1978.
Oh, wait. Okay, I thought Vlade Divac.
Divac in the 70s is crazy.
No,
it's
I'm
from
looking at
Sacramento.
Oh,
He got traded to Sacramento from LA. So, or
Oh,
he
yeah,
got traded to Sacramento from like Charlotte or something.
He didn't go to Louisville either.
Is it Mitch Richmond?
No, it's not Mitch Richmond. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. Like Derek Coleman or something?
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. I don't think it's him, but there we go.
Oh, it was him.
Yeah, there you go.
We got 8 spots left. Minute 50. Throw some names out there.
North Carolina State. Who is that?
Was that on the Jim Valvano team? I'm thinking.
No, that was the 80s.
Wait,
David Thompson. I know David Thompson went to NC State.
That Michael Thompson.
Yeah.
That's lucky.
And I don't know. The other ones, I don't know.
Sacramento. I feel like we got to get Sacramento at least.
1989 Sacramento.
Not Reggie Thies.
I don't even know who played for Sacramento. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. Some of those old teams, I feel like you see a couple guys.
Cleveland.
Who else got picked? Cleveland, Philly. Put Cheeks. Just put Mo Cheeks. I don't know. Maybe Mo Cheeks got picked then.
Philly. Who did they have in the 70s?
Moncrief.
No. How many do we have left? Like
Did Sidney Moncrief go to Milwaukee?
He did, but I don't think it was the first pick.
Yeah.
We got 6.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I'm satisfied with this. 49, 50 yet. Yeah, I got 45 seconds left. We can try to throw some Hail Marys out there. Golden State, Purdue. I don't know who that is.
It's not.
What is the dude named with the army cut? He a shooter, but I don't think he was
Chris Mullen.
Yeah.
Ian. It's Ian. Mullin.
But that was
he didn't go to Purdue. Yeah, he went to St. John's.
I don't know.
Illinois State, I have no idea what that is. We're gonna just wait. Can I like quit it or something?
I get Mark Price.
Was it that long ago? Yeah.
No.
And I bet you all these are big men that I do not know.
No, I feel like that Cleveland one. I think I know. I just can't. I think of it too.
Austin Carr. I'm just trying to think of old Cleveland people.
Oh, we got Austin Carr, Doug. What the heck? Why did they just give me an ad? Anyways, Doug Collins, John Lucas, Kent Benson, Joey would never really get this one.
Okay,
Curtis Ellison.
Doug Collins is the only one I feel like I wouldn't have got Doug Collins.
I just said Austin Carr before it went off. I didn't.
He did say Austin Carr. I'll give him.
It went off. So, I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with that, especially since a lot of us are way younger. So, I let us see the ball knowledge. I let us see the ball knowledge, man.
Wait, why'd you say a lot of us are way younger?
Well, all of us. Well, I'm glad because if I did it myself, I would not got a lot of them because I don't know a lot of the older players as far as like the ones that's not like generally known. So like that, I don't really know about number 1 picks. So I'm glad we got out the way. Celtics game 5 tonight. We can do quick predictions. I think that Celtics are going to win it. I know. I feel like Gabe Vincent being out may seem insignificant to some people, but he's been big this series. I think he's averaged like 15 points, something like that. So Caleb Martin going to step up. Max Strus going to step up. Jimmy going to step up. And it is in Miami, though, so they do have that advantage, I think. So, yeah, but is it in Miami?
No, it's in Boston.
Is it Boston? Oh yeah, they done it. Yeah, Boston gonna win tonight.
I definitely same. I think Boston's gonna win tonight. You're gonna need like especially Gabe Vincent, 15 points a game, shooting above 40, damn near 50% from three right now. Yeah, him not playing gonna be huge.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna win. I think Boston's gonna win tonight and then lose in Miami.
I cannot wait though. I cannot wait to for Boston to lose. I have some shit to get off, bro. Oh my god, I'm gonna go ham on Jaylen Brown. Oh man, I cannot wait. Because yeah, he's about to get a $300 million contract, and that's been the worst decision in Celtics history. So I just want to I'm gonna get that off though. But it was a great episode. Thank you for Jordan for coming on. It's episode 28, Tip Tap Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Follow all of these social media down in the description. Just hit 1,000 followers on TikTok. Thank you guys for that. I think I almost at like 1,100.
Well, almost at 12. We're at
almost at 1,200. Gonna start going live when they're interacting with people that come across the page and stuff like that. So thank you guys for watching the podcast. We're gonna keep growing this entire summer. We'll see you guys probably in a few days after this Celtics and Heat series over for finals predictions, more job content, probably getting a little bit more to NFL since NBA season is winding down. If you guys don't have anything else to say, I'm ready to end the episode.
All good. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, I love being on here, bro.